Today is all about where do you start when organizing your home for your family, for the kids, for your sanity? Because basically it's all the same where to start, but I just wanted to kind of break it down for you because I know a lot of people kind of struggle with the let's get started part. And so I really wanted to help and get that all figured out and like some tips that I have. Hey there, I'm Jessica, the Organized Mama. I'm family organizing expert that helps you with organizing tips, tricks, and tutorials the entire family can do. When it comes to where to start when organizing, everyone typically, whenever we get a call from anyone, they're like, I'm just am so overwhelmed. And like, if that's you, then to be like, yes, me. I look around and I'm like, what do I need to start with? And they just are like, I want my whole house organized. So I always stop and like backtrack. So what exactly does that mean to you? Do you just want to be able to find things? Do you want it to look nice? I need you to define what organizing actually means. And that's like the biggest piece before you even start. Okay. So I want you to figure out, what is your goal? What does organizing mean to you? So many people are like, I just want to be able to find things and I just want papers to have a home. And so if that's your goal for organizing, then now you know where to go and where to start. The reason why so many people just kind of forget those basics and they're like, I just want to be organized, is because realistically, like, we're scrolling on social media, right? We're looking and you see all these pretty spaces and it makes you kind of jealous because you're like, oh, that's so nice. I wish I had that. And in reality, like, a lot of those pictures are staged. I'm just going to break it down for you right there. They're staged because they look pretty. But in reality, that's not always the case. And so I want you to get like crystal clear on what organizing means to you. Then once you figure out you want less toys, okay, that's a way to get organized, to have less toys. Another way to get organized is just to be able to find things. Another way to be organized is to have a place for everything. Another way that I've heard is, I've heard a lot of clients just like, I just want everything labeled so that everybody knows where it goes. And by setting that like clear goal, you have already like defined what you're going to do. And it just helps our brain figure out like the next step. So you got to define what organizing means when you say, I need to get organized. Like, what needs to be organized? I want all the toys to be categorized in a bin. You can do that. Once you set that up, boom, like, there you go. But a lot of times it's hard defining, what you want organized. So really, like, start there. Then once you've started, then it's time to take action, right? And like actually do it. So typically what a lot of time, like what we do with a lot of clients is we just kind of like, once we have their idea of like what they want organized, then we just kind of like start, and it gets super messy, super messy. So just know when like you're like, okay, I want all the toys categorized in separate bins. So you're going to dump out all the toys and you're going to start sorting them and you're going to be like, oh my God, this is a big mess. That's normal. Just remember that. It's totally normal. And then after you go through all of that and you categorize everything, you label it, you did what you set out to do. So the biggest thing is just to define what that means to you. What does get organized mean to you? Another trick that I have when it comes to like organizing, especially kid stuff, is to observe what the kids are playing with, what the kids are using. When you actually do that, it's going to make what you don't need to keep so much easier. Like in the playroom, okay? They have all their toys and they have, their bins that you've already categorized, right? You did that a while ago. And now you're just like, I think we have too many toys and I think we need less toys. So you're going to watch your kids and you're going to figure out what toys they're actually playing with. So usually what happens, they dump out a bin and then they pick out their favorite toys, and then the rest of the toys are just sitting in like a big giant pile that is just there, right? Those toys that sit in the big giant pile are the toys your kids don't need. They don't play with them. They don't want them because they're not using them. So that's how you're going to determine what toys you actually want to keep and what toys you can part ways with. So look at the toys your kids are playing with, write it down, just take note, and then slowly you can get rid of the toys that they just don't play with. I mean, you might even notice that there are some bins your kids just never go into. And so if that's the case, just donate the whole thing, sell the bin. That way it's out of your house. And your kids are now going to be able to find the type of toys that they want to play with so much easier. And I mean, there's so much research on less toys for kids is actually better for their creativity and brain development. So I'm a big fan of less toys, big fan. When we do playrooms and stuff, we make the clients get rid of a lot of toys for that reason. You don't need as many toys as you think. I heard this analogy and I think it just puts everything into perspective. Okay, next time you're going to do this, you're going to think of me. I need to find where I heard this. It was on a podcast, but I don't remember which one. They were talking about containment. And when you go to grab a Tupperware for your leftovers, you typically grab one that's way too big because you always think that there's more. And when you fill up that Tupperware, it's not full. Like you could have used a size smaller of the Tupperware for your leftovers. Well, the same goes with toys for your kids. You have all these toys. You could easily pare down and your kids would still be in the same play situation as they are now. So next time you go and grab a Tupperware, think about this. Just think about we always go for bigger because I think that's just how we were taught, like bigger is better. It's not always the case. So when you go and grab a Tupperware and you fill it up with all your leftovers and then your Tupperware is maybe a third full and you're like, I could have used a much smaller Tupperware. Well, the same goes for the toys, right? You don't need every single type of toy. Your kids don't need all of the things. You can really pare down. Also, you have the space. You don't need to fill the space. The space does not need to be completely full, covered with toys. Blank space, empty space is okay. It gives your mind a chance to kind of so less stuff you have, the better it is for you and the kids and the family and everything. So you don't need all the things. You don't need, a bunch of kitchen gadgets unless you love using kitchen gadgets, then you do you. Okay. We do have quite a bit of kitchen gadgets, but as you know, my husband is the one that likes to cook. And so he has that, but it's basically a 1 in, 1 out rule because I can't handle too many gadgets because he doesn't use them all. So really streamline what you have. Less is more. That way you can really get yourself organized. That's how you can start and get things moving. I do have a freebie that I created. It is called The Ultimate Parent's Guide to Organizing. And I really honestly break down so much stuff for how you can get everything started and set up with your kids. If you are on my Tuesday Tips newsletter, you got that today. If you are on my Thursday newsletter, you will get it on Thursday. If you are not on any of those emails and you want to be and you want this freebie, I'm going to put a link for you. And this freebie is for, anybody that's on my email list. Every week you basically get a new freebie or a reminder of a freebie and a lot of other really useful tips that I don't share anywhere else but there. So if you'd like to, hop on and join the fun in your inbox, I will put links and stuff. But that was all I have for today.